What we do determines our children's future. What our children become will determine our nation's future. The African American adult is attempting to solve the major problems today in order to ensure a productive and peaceful tomorrow for our children. Hello, I'm Ray Jones, and I'm bringing you a Khalees Marshall production, The Sleeping Giant, Facing a Possible Nightmare or Realizing a Possible Dream. There is indeed a sleeping giant that lies within our cities and threatens to spread well beyond the geographical boundaries of urban America. That sleeping giant, that not-so-silent epidemic, is black-on-black crime. And while many would argue that black-on-black crime is far from asleep, future generations will accuse us of being in a coma if we allow present trends to continue. Will our children continue to face a rising tide of crime, a possible nightmare, or will we make possible the dream of black-on-black cooperation and love? Analyzing the causes, and more importantly, offering solutions to the problems, will be prominent and concerned citizens from the city of Chicago. Let us begin with the nationally recognized poet Haki Madhubuti, as he and others give us black-on-black crime, the causes.
Crime committed by black people upon other black people is abnormal and a recent phenomenon. It's not to say that black people have not, since our introduction to the West, committed acts of crime against other black people, but it has never been at the epidemic stage that it is today. But what happens is when people analyze it, they fail to analyze the total picture. And what I'm saying is that black-on-black crime, the cause for black-on-black crime is white-on-black crime. You see what I'm saying? Is that the crime white people have committed against black people, all it does is ricochet, and of course, and the major crime is providing no economics within the context of the black community, where young black men who are committing the major crimes are able to take care of themselves or their families. Okay? So what you have within the context of the black community is something like an unemployment rate among male black men approaching something like 45 to 48%. I mean, that's devastating. You see, no other community has that type of unemployment. Now, the average young man is not conscious. And what I mean by that, not being conscious, that if he is hungry, if he has a child that is hungry, if he has a family that needs food, then he's going to go take it from somebody. Not being conscious, he's going to take it from those closest to him and in his proximity, which are the black people.
Black-on-black crime is really a geography in the sense that who else do we see? Because of the ghettos, because of the restricted living conditions, because of the way we've been rammed into specific areas like Harlem or the south side of Chicago, or Los Angeles, or Oakland in California. That to me says, plus, I mean, that's sociological and psychological conditioning. I mean, coming out of slave mentality, I mean, blacks have learned to hate. A black man ain't nothing. I mean, I could use some other descriptions, but that's the term. Now, if someone continues to tell you you ain't nothing, then you begin to think of yourself as nothing. So therefore, you kind of get a self-hate towards anybody who happens to look like you. So you direct the event. I mean, okay. I think a better parallel is the fact that many murders are committed by people in the same family, and that's simply because they're close to each other. Okay, the same thing with black-on-black crime. The black-on-black crime is a byproduct of one ethnic group living within a parameter and directing all of the frustrations at each other.
But when you think that black is ugly, when you think it is bad, when you think that it is ungodly and it is sinful, well then you attack that which you do dislike. And that is one of the reasons why, out of the frustrations that the density of the black population causes, out of that frustration comes black-on-black crime. just total disregard, I mean gut disregard and hatred for that which is black.
I would say the greatest of all causes of black-on-black crime is the frustration of the black male. He is frustrated because at every area that he turns for respect, he cannot find it. And this is his nature. In all of his settings throughout history, he has been a man that commanded respect. And here in this nation, he cannot obtain his natural, normal, just due respect. So he goes into crime and will kill one another over stepping on his shoes, owing him $2, all types of things that is dealing with a certain amount of respect.
So the question of black-on-black crime, the ubiquitous question, the question that haunts all of us who care and love, is a question that can be viewed from the economic perspective. It can be viewed from those who are the have-nots and their desire to be important, their desire to be somebody, and the fact that the high unemployment, which is a reality in the African community in America, will be a causal factor, to some more than to others, in determining their behavior patterns and their behaviorism with regards to whether or not they choose to spend their life as a have-not when around them is so many. And they are programmed by the media and by almost everything that takes place to reach out for these material things. So very basic then to crime is this question of economics.
When we talk about black-on-black crime, what are we talking about? We see that blacks in America have been subjugated to the most inhumane conditions that any American citizens have had to be subjugated to. The unemployment within the black community is the highest within any community across America. We see that they've had to live in segregated communities, segregated housing, limited educational facilities, limited educational backgrounds. We see that outsiders have continually to this very day exploit the black community of its economic resources. So what has then turned to be black-on-black crime is that black people have now had to feed off of each other in a very low and degenerate way to support themselves, and it has spilled over to the social areas.